Unearthing India's popular music scene through Student Enterprise Project is a project which builds upon the existing relationships between QUT, the KM Music Conservatory, and the peak music industry body EarthSync, which is based in Chennai, India. As students, whether it be as performers, producers, or involved in the music business aspect, we are to work with mentors and other international students towards the Indie 100 event, which is an intensive recording and showcase which focuses upon the emergence of Indian artists on a local, national, and international scale. Throughout the lead up to our time in India and focusing on the Indie 100 event, as a group we were to collaborate with KMMC students in either creative or professional way, depending on our discipline-based skill set. Participating as a musician, I will find myself collaborating with Indian students to write and record new music which will be performed in the final showcase. Through this cross-cultural collaboration, I hope to develop thorough knowledge of Indian music and become well versed in understanding of the Indian music industry specific to the electronic music genre. Entering this program, I have established some facts about myself as a performer. As a songwriter, knew I wanted to collaborate with other songwriters and producers and took this collaboration as exercise as a prime opportunity. Additionally, I wrote to the pop electronic genre and recently found this as my niche and wanted to continue to write within this respective genre. In respect to this, I delved into some research surrounding the indie electronic music scene to familiarise myself about where it sat within the Indian music industry. EDM, electronic dance music, had recently begun to expand from 2013 onwards in India. This prominence occurred in line with the success of the Sunburn Music Festival, an Indian music festival, which gained traction from lineups which included international electronic acts. From here, the genre rose in popularity through larger cities such as Mumbai and Delhi. In saying this, although the EDM scene is rife in major cities, it doesn't apply to the entire country. EDM does not always take primary influence from traditional Indian music, or it never originally did. It's only because it's sitting in India, which it would. The rural population of India, consisting of 70% of the population, is not familiar with the Western music influence. Nonetheless, electronic dance music. Therefore, their music taste lies within traditional Indian music. Television also remains a predominant media source within the country, and with electronic music circulating on the internet, this further isolates the genre. A language barrier also hinders the success of the genre within India, and this can be said for other non-English speaking countries. Generally speaking, Western influenced music would never be independently successful within India, as it is not familiar to the majority of the country. This sparked the idea of blending the two cultures to create a music unique to both, a cross-cultural collaboration. Cross-cultural collaborations are essential in a contemporary world, not only within creative industries but to all innovations. Professor Roy Chow comments upon this significance. Creativity is about the recombination of existing ideas, then combining ideas that haven't been connected before to produce something new and useful. Through the lens of music, we can see this occur when two artists join forces and to create a piece of work unique to both of them. A situation familiar to the Indie 100 project. After understanding where electronic music stood within the music industry, I became determined to see how my musical style and the songwriting approach would fuse with approaches from Indian musicians. My goal was essentially to fuse Western pop electronic music and Indian approaches to create music unique to both cultures. Tying this in with my previous point, I was eager to combine musical aspects from both cultures to make electronic music that held elements that could be familiar to Indian people. To begin this collaboration process, all students were to introduce themselves over an online forum. In this case, it was Facebook. Here we gave a brief introduction and gave insight to what instruments we could play and what genres we enjoyed songwriting in. We were able to also give examples of music that we had created previously to this. From here, we were able to interact, privately message each other, and initiate collaborations within the group. This is where I started by posting in the group. However, this is not where my collaboration began. I had worked previously with fellow QUT music production student Lewis Mattia through my university experience. We had made original songs together, and I really enjoyed songwriting with him as we shared alike music tastes and an will to experiment with sounds, genre, and texture. Lewis had been communicating with Gopi Krishnan, a KMMC student had previously participated in an Indie 100 project. Lewis offered if I wanted to join the Reducer duo as a singer, and I instantly agreed. From here, we began the collaboration. As a group, we communicated through online messaging platforms, sending each other musical ideas and preferences to get to know each other. Our collaboration started by developing an original music idea that Gopi had created previous to our meeting. This song followed an Indian influence in reference to the instruments involved and melodic composition. Once Lewis and I got the idea, we began by restructuring the song to conform to a verse-chorus structure, still using the original ideas from Gopi's track. Lewis and I had worked similarly to this before, where we both acted as creative directors to a song and workshopped it together. As a vocalist and songwriter, I ad-libbed some vocal ideas on top of the instrumental part, and this gave ideas to melody and lyric. Although I am familiar with this situation of collaborating with others, working with someone by communicating exclusively through online platforms is very different and something I haven't engaged in thoroughly before. This process delayed quicker progress as some form of approval was needed before moving on with ideas. In addition to this, through Gopi's musical idea, he composed the piece using an Indian raga, which can be compared to the framework of a scale or mode. This posed a challenge with composition, as both Lewis and I had to rework the melody and harmony which we had been initially working on to conform to this system. Instead of focusing on sounds within the piece, which was usually a primary priority, we had to focus on the songwriting and composition more technically. Through this cross-cultural collaboration, I've realised how heavily I rely on Western music influence to structure my songs. This was an established fact, my culture's music was Western. Engaging in this activity has made me realise other musical cultural practices. When songwriting, I am constantly seeking ways to challenge my writing and create music which is more authentic to the last piece I've written. When considering different cultures and their respective music, it becomes evident that while music is a consistent idea across cultures, the music itself remains highly diverse in terms of interpretation and structure. Sandra Trehub, a psychologist from the University of Toronto, relates the uniqueness of music to the culture and its transgenerational transmittance. When considering all cultures and their version of music, it becomes evident that a whole range of approaches towards music exists, and this is distinct to the culture it is derived from. Through this collaboration, I don't want to abandon all my songwriting knowledge and common approaches. I obviously like what I write for, and the genre I write for. However, this task will allow me to use and appreciate songwriting from other cultures to enhance my songwriting skills. Thus far, I've enjoyed collaborating with the KMMC students. My creative intention for the songs is to combine Western skills with Indian approaches to create a piece of music unique to both cultures. Rather than just collaborating with another producer, I've been able to gain a glimpse into Indian songwriting approaches, which provides another lens to songwriting. I hope for this to further develop as I embark in the program in India. Moving forward, when in India, I look forward to continuing this collaboration with Lewis and Gopi and other students as well. Additionally, I would like to see firsthand where the electronic music sits within the conservatorium and more broadly India in general, and understanding how the genre could become popular within the country. Furthermore, I am eager to see what is popular in India and why, in terms of music, recognizing trends and consistently popular artists, etc. The Indie 100 project encourages and recognizes my goals of fusing cultures musically, and I am excited to be a part of this event and see where it takes me.